What's up, you guys? This is your boy, one and only T Studio X, and this is a new fire alarm videos. Can you guess what it is? And a couple items. So you can you guess what it is? What's behind me? My conventional fire alarm panel. So, question is, what is it? I will be zapping the intro with that lightning rod. Yo, this is your boy T Studio X, which today I'll be doing the video of the new items. One example. So I definitely asked the question that you see what it is. This is a conventional fire alarm panel. It's a 5-zone panel. It's a Notifier FSP 5VD fire alarm panel. So it will have one set of terminal block for the initiating devices. Which, yes, I got end of line resistors. So this right here, this is the NAC circuit. I mean, this is the NAC 1 and 2 and NAC 3 and 4. So this panel's got 4 NACs, 5 zones, and 3 relays. This is the relay terminal block. One for supervisory, alarm, and trouble. And this one here is the sync fault. So, I know it looks pretty funny without the. Looks pretty funny and weird without the cabinet. The only trouble I have on here is the battery, since I have no battery, as you can see here. So later on, I'd like to get a case for this fire alarm control panel. This is the conventional fire alarm control panel. So it does sync. It does system sensor sync, Wheelock sync, Gentex sync, Faraday sync, and AMP-Circle sync. For the features for this panel, it does convention. It's a fire alarm conventional conventional fire alarm control panel. 5-zone initiating circuits, 4 necks, selectable strobe sync, 120 volts alternating currents, VAC, 3 amps of amp power supply, and ANSI, which would be ANSI/UL 864 9th edition. So this panel does code 3, continuous, so it does study, which is continuous, march time 120 beats per minute, California code, temporal, like I mentioned, it's got 2-stage, which it has like slow march time. That'll be 20 beats per minute. Like I mentioned, it's got system sensor sync, Wheelock, Gentex, Faraday, and Amsicle. I think the UD stands for UDACT. I think that's what that stands for. The UD, I think that stands for UDACT. So remember the cases. I mean the cabinet on the notifier FSP 5UD or the 10UD. If it was the 10UD, I would have another set of terminal blocks, and this is only a B circuit, B class circuit Fire-Line panel. My addressable over there, I think that's my A and B, A or B class circuit for the, since that's the addressable is a lot different than the conventional, because addressable usually requires devices to work by having the modules. On the MS5UD or the 10UD for Fire-Lite, it would, so the color of the cabinet would be red. On the FSP 5UD or the FSP 10UD from Notifier, it would be black. The case, it would be black. So it's got the screen. It looks like an adjustable, but it's not. But this is a conventional. This terminal block right here, this is the AND bus. That's for the remote annunciator. This is the reset and non-resettable power. Right here, this is the phone jack. Probably for the UDACT. This is the piezo. So the MS4 and the MS2 and the MS4 UD, the Fire-Lite MS2 and the MS4 has the same piezo, which includes the FSP 2402 and the 2404 Fire-Line panels. I think they have the same piezo. As you can see here, I know there's like jumpers right on the circuitry. 1, 2, and 3. I think that's for, I think this was for the non-resettable power and resettable power. And stuff like that. Okay, moving on to the, oh yeah. I was got a power supply. This was has a button, so if something trips you with that, pretty much that's the reset button. And the power supply is probably in the back, and this is the transformer, and this is the battery harness. So the FSP 5UD and the 10UD would use, if it has the annunciator, it would use the notifier and then 80 remote annunciator, and it's usually black for that. When it's like a Fire-Lite MS-2 or the 10UD, it would use, if it had an annunciator, it would use the ANN, the Fire-Lite ANN 80 fire alarm annunciator. It usually comes in red or white. Notification devices I've got right here. This is my system sensor P2R, system sensor Spectral Alert Advance. That's the P2R. I think P stands for piezo, R stands for, 2 stands for it's a 2-wire, and R stands for red. If it's a P2W, it would be white with red fire lightering. The fire lighters. This one here is a system sensor SR remote strobe. So I bought that. So I bought that one used for about the PTR for use. This one I bought that for new in box. Of course, on the right, there's the Wheelock RSS. So I got that set to 15 candela. But the RSS, I got that back in December with my Wheelock NS. But I bought that separate though. But my Wheelock NS, I know that came new in box. So this right here, this is my only white fire alarm device. The model on the box, it's a Siemens US75W. So this one's white and has red fire lettering on the sides, and it's set to fix 75 candela. This right here, this is my Gentex GXS4 1575WR, which is a fixed 1575 candela strobe. So it looks pretty good with the GOSs, the GX90s. Looks pretty good with the SHGs. Looks pretty good with the GOSs? Looks pretty good with the GOSs. It looks pretty good with anything that has like a strobe design like this. So I got an SHG that has a strobe design like this. Strobe lens design, excuse me. There's the manual that goes to the system sensor SR and the P2R. There's the box. It's got plug-in features, single screw attached, field selectable candela, 15, 75, 30, 75, 95, 110, and 115. And the high candela products such as 130, 150, 177, 185. Same mounted screws for the wall and ceiling. 12 or 24 VDC / the FWR. Rotary switches for the horn tone and chime selection. So these two here, those are my system sensor spectral alert advance horn strobe on the left, and system sensor SR. So, yeah, system sensor SR, which would be the strobe only. I know this is definitely new in box. That one's used. The panels that I bought is used. The only thing I forgot to mention about the i3, the system sensor i3. So finally got one of those. The system sensor 2WB, which is a 2-wire, and it's a fully electric smoke detector. And there's the with the green and the red light. Love these durable smoke detectors. Yeah, this right here that came in new in box. So one of these days I like to get like maybe a horn strobe or something like that. Horn strobe or strobe. I mean horn only for the Siemens strobe. So I could try to get another white fire alarm device, but most of them that I have is red. So back in the 2000s, I remember when they made those awesome system sensor i3s. At least I finally got one of those. They have those at my church. I see these i3s everywhere, and it's usually mounted on the ceiling now. But right now, for the system, I got it mounted to the wall, but it's usually mounted to the ceiling. Because it's usually so smoke detectors like that is for ceiling mount only. There's also system sensor PC2R, which would be the ceiling mount version of the system sensor spectral alert advance, and the SCR or the SCR. That would be the ceiling mount as well. But this one I have is the wall mount. That's what I have. It's a wall mount. Some of them some of them. If it's a P2W, it'll be white. If it's a P2R, it'll be dark. I mean, not dark. It'll be red. If it's a system sensor SW, it would be white. So these P2Rs, I usually see them. They're like pretty much common around here because I usually see those. I usually see those P2Rs with the number with the BG12 or the BG8, Fire-Lite BG8 or BG12. Sometimes it could be a notifier. Sometimes it could hook to a notifier system. So I got my Fire-Lite key. Definitely keeping that. Made for the MS-2. Definitely keeping that. Since my MS-2, since I don't have there's no places around here to fix the Fire-Lite MS-2. The notifier key, which is in my adjustable panel, so that uses the notifier key. And so it's the BGX1010, which would be my addressable version of the BG10L. In most places, I usually see a lot of these. Those i3s are pretty common. And the P2Rs. So the system sensor L series, it usually have the same sound just like the P2Rs. The P2RL, which would be the newer design and slick. It would have the same sound. So right now I'm just gonna so right now I'm gonna be doing the review of these devices, the latest devices. This one here is a Gentex GXS4 1575WR remote strobe. So when I look in the bag, it's the ones with the screw terminals. I love the screw terminals. I think they're a lot better than the lead wires and stuff like that. It will show the model. It will show the, and I have the actual matching strobe design that goes with my Gentex SHG. It looks pretty good with the SHG, the GMH. I mean, yeah, GMH is just the horn only, mechanical horn only. It looks pretty good with the GOS. Looks pretty good with those Gentex alarms. So this was set to fix $15.75 Kindle. As you can see here, it's got the reflector. It's got, and it has like the, it's got, you mean, as you can see, it's got like partial ridges on it. Same thing that goes to my SHG. It's got the same strobe lens design. That goes to my SHG. So I won't be testing that, but I will sometime in another video. Next is my got a white Fire-Lite device. It's a remote strobe. This right here, this is a Siemens US75W. It's a standalone remote strobe. It's a 75 candela strobe, fixed 75 candela strobe, and it's white. And it's got the fire lettering in red, since the device is white, but it's still a Fire-Lite device. So, when it's almost like the, yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it's ADA compliance. As you can see here, it's 75 candela, UL listed, ADA compliance. It's the strobe lenses are clear, and the strobe is not syncable, but it's still flashable. And it's got terminal wires in the back. I mean, the terminal screws in the back. Pretty cool. But I like to get like a horn strobe or a horn that goes through, or a chime. I wonder if Service Productronics owned by Siemens or Faraday. So this one's under Siemens. It says on the box. So it says, like I said, it's a 75 candela strobe. Okay, moving on to my alarms, newest alarms. This right here, this is a system sensor P2R, system sensor Spectre Alert Advanced P2R horn strobe. The reason why I got like tape on it so it wouldn't be that loud, and it's on low volume code 3, and it's set to 15 candela. So I bought that used. So I already got it wired up to this panel here. Moving on. This right here, this is a system sensor SR, which would be the remote strobe. And of course, I got the RSS, which has a fixed 15 candela. I think I bought that back in like December. This RSS. So all these strobes like this would sync together. Up here, this conditioning devices, like I mentioned, this is a system sensor i3. Always wanted one of those, and finally I've got one. So when the red light comes on when when it's tested with like real smoke. The this LED light will come on. This red LED light will come on when there's smoke that goes to it. And these are durable smoke detectors. And this is a green light. This is the green LED light. As you can see it blink. Every 5 seconds, you see it blink. I see these i3s in a lot of places. I'm pretty sure they're common. So they made those back in the early 2000s. So I can follow the wiring that goes to my panel and that goes to zone 2. In this pull section right here, this Uphope HC 102. It looks similar to the BG12. Looks similar to the BG12, but it's the knockoff version, like I mentioned back in October, I believe. So this right here, I will not do the test on this strobe. So currently, I usually have that to my addressable fire alarm panel, as you can see here. Like I mentioned, it syncs. Yeah, like I mentioned, it does. The syncs, it's compatible to system sensor, Wheelock, Faraday, Emsico, and Gentex. So I remember when they started making the system sensor P2Rs and SRs, P2Ws and SWs, which would be the system sensor spectral alert advanced, but the W stands for white and R stands for red. So normally my devices that I have is red. Like I mentioned, I showed you guys one fire alarm device that's white is my Siemens US75W. You still got my Fire-Lite key. I'm definitely keeping that. And the manual that goes to my MS-2, so I can't lose that. Right here, you see this thing right here, that's my MS-2. So I had to replace that. So this is the box that came in. This is the System Sensor SR. It was new in box. The reason what I like about these horn strobes, it's got plug-in design, single screw attach, field selectable candela, standard product settings, 15, 15, 75, 30, 75, 100, 95, 110, and 115. And the high candela products, 135, 150, 177, and 185 candela. Same mounted plate for the wall and ceiling mounts. 12 or 14 VDC/FWR. Rotary switch for the horn tones and chime selections. So, this right here, this is the P2R. This is the horn version of the System Sensor Spectral Alert Advanced. The P2R. P stands for, I think it's piezo, 2 stands for 2-wire, and R stands for red. If it's the CH SR, it will be a chime strobe. But this is not a chime strobe. This is a horn strobe. Yeah, this right here, this is the System Sensor P2R. And this is the horn strobe. if it's a PC2 wire, it'll be a ceiling mount, and it will be round. And it would have the same strobe, just like the, I know this is a wall mount. As I can tell, this is definitely a wall mount. Got fire lighting on both sides. And I call this the startler because I see a lot of those. I see a lot of these in various places like schools, convenience stores, and the other places I see those. And I usually see those with the BG12 pull stations. Sometimes I see that with the notifier system, silent night system, Fire-Lite system. So basically all this stuff, my fire alarm system is pretty much from, I think this is all notifier. Pretty much all notifier. The panels are. But that one's my Enzo. So that one's my Enzo Autopulse IQ 301 addressable, and this is my conventional by notifier. So that one takes a notifier key. So pretty much it's like a notifier, pretty much. Let's see if we try to put it on. So it's pretty much running out of video time. Screw that in. And this is the SR. System sensor, spike alert. Remote strobe. System sensor, spike alert. Remote strobe. And yes, I got speaker wire. Because it's the only wire that they have around here. I know they got like other wires. One of these days for this notifier FSP 5VD, I'd like to give me another smoke detector, and I'd like to try to get a heat detector for this panel. But other than that, I think I should do a test late. I think I should do a test. See how this works. The MS5UD and the MS10UD pretty much does the same thing. It's just pretty much different brand. But it's still made from Honeywell. That's what I like about Notifier and Fire-Lite. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention it came with the manual and stuff like that. Both horn strobe and the strobe only. Comes with the mounted screws. Same thing that goes to my Siemens remote strobe. The Siemens Building Technologies. So that came with the screws. That came with the screws because it was due in the box, and so was my system sensor mass. Here, which includes system sensor mass 241575 ADA Salvage show. So that came in new. That came new in box, and so was the system sensor SS 121575 remote strobe. Okay, it's time for. Let's try to do the test. So, make sure. Do not tamper with the fire alarm systems in in public. Do not tamper with the panels. Do not tamper with the pulsation, smoke detectors, whatever you are. If you see them, just leave them alone. This is for demonstration purposes only. Since I got my own Fire-Lite system and it's not hooked onto the fire department. It's not hooked onto the fire department. Yeah, I forgot to mention about those jumpers. It's got some jumpers there. Another jumper here. I forgot what it is. I like to do more detail in another video. Jumpers for the resettable power and resettable power. That's for that. And this is the transformer. The power supply is like way back there somewhere. It's behind this green circuitry. So if you are sensitive to bright strobes, if you have epilepsy with the bright strobes, do not watch it if you have seizures, because this video would contain strobes and the sound of the alarm. Like I said, it would contain strobes. This is like I said, it's for demonstration purposes only. It's my demo system. And like I said, do not pull fire alarms. If you do, you would get fined. Like I said, do not tamper any of the fire alarm equipment in public, because in buildings, the places would have cameras and stuff like that. So if you have seizures and stuff like that, do not watch it. I know it would contain strobes and stuff like that. So further ado, let's do some tests. So right now I'm going to be testing this Up Hope HC102 pulse station. So I'll be pulling it down. The alarm will sound. And the temperature code 3, by the way. And all of them is set to 15 candela. Both the SR, which is in the middle, the P2R on the far left, and the RSS on the far right is set to 15 candela. But the RSS is set to fixed 15 candela. And like I said, these strobes will definitely sync together. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. It's on high volume code 3. So set to 15 candela, set to 15 candela. And that's set to fix 5075 50 candela. Okay, got that silence on. So I cut the horns and strobe by pushing the silence button. Alarm silence. As you can see here, this amber light. Before I reset the fire alarm panel, it's time for me to reset the pulsation, which has got a light in it, which means it's activated. It's got a switch in it. And other than that, I'll just reset the panel. Since I got this working i3, it's time for me to test that. Great, unfortunately, I'm out of video time. I'm just going to set this pretty quick and reset it. Okay, the i3 is activated since I done tested it. I don't want to disturb the neighbors. Turn that off. Like I said, set to 50 Cadella. Got the smoke detector and the pulsation tested. As you see the red light on, the LED light on. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave a genuine comment. Make sure you leave a genuine comment. Make sure you show love to this this video. And I hope you have a great night. And this is your boy T Studio X signing out. Thanks for watching. Peace.